Hello, everybody. Just want to recap Game 3 of the World Chess Championship real quick. If you've been following my other commentaries on the match, I'm not going into detail about the opening or middle game or anything like that. There's plenty of analysis. I mean, you can follow Svidler, you know, Chess 24. There's tons of GM professional grade analysis. I want to come from a different perspective, and that's basically the psychological uh, perspective in the match. And what I'm going to say, and is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, Magnus Carlsen is definitely the one pushing and dictating the terms so far in this match after Game 3. We see that Caruana, for some reason, just will not enter into a mainline Sicilian and keeps opting for this Rossalimo variation, which he employed in Game 1, and we have the exact same result, which is basically black pressing at the end for with the only one with any type of winning chances. Not that there was winning chances here, but if there was, it would be uh, black. So we give black the initiative hands down so far. So basically, what I see is that if Carlsen is able to keep putting pressure on Caruana every game like this, eventually Caruana is going to break. There has to be some point where Caruana, especially with the white pieces, has some type of chances or at least initiative where he can push back um, against Carlsen's aggressiveness. The white games of Caruana are super bland. It's like he's throwing away the white games, and I think that's going to prove costly. Um, it's Carlsen is just way too comfortable. I mean, look at this position right here. Black has absolutely nothing to worry about, and again, neither does white. But the thing is white is supposed to be trying to generate some type of initiative or winning chances. And if anybody has those chances in the long term, it's black. This is after move 24. Again, white has absolutely nothing uh, in the position. And this allows black to, start pressing for some type of advantage. It keeps Caruana on the defensive with these attacks, trying to get him to weaken his position. And Caruana, I am interested in seeing what Caruana's next white is going to be like. Is he's going to play the Rossalimo again? Does he have another? I'm sure he has to have another backup white opening. Even switching to D4 or say C4, English opening should give him better positions because these positions right here just just are too comfortable for Magnus here. At this point, Magnus had 25 minutes before the time control on this clock. Caruana was down to 7, so you can see who's pressing. Again, look at the space advantage, the domination by black. This should not be taking place. All right, and these are psychological points that are being built up by Magnus Carlsen here. Again, as I predicted in game 2, when I looked at that game, is that Caruana seems to be taking the same approach that Karyakin did in his match against Carlsen, which was to basically uh, try to weather the storm from Carlsen, let Carlsen press, and hopefully at some point Carlsen is too optimistic in his analysis and somehow makes a mistake in where he can win one game in the classical setting and then hold on grimly and win the title in that fashion. Because Caruana has very little chance in rapid or blitz Armageddon uh, situations. And so far, that strategy does not seem to work against Magnus. Again, Karyakin came very close. He did win the first game in their match, and it was because Magnus overpressed and wound up losing. But Magnus came right back in the next game and tied it up. So he showed what kind of player he is, that he's willing to take chances. And even when he was down a game, he did not panic. He just came back and won. So I still think Magnus is still like several years ahead of his opponents, and they're still playing catch up with him. And I think it's going to be another defense for Magnus Carlsen as far as his title's concerned. I just can't see again Black, the only one having any type of winning chances with this 2-1 here. And of course, this is going to be a draw because the square where Black is going to try the queen is in the wrong color of the bishop. And this is why Caruana is able to just sacrifice his knight. Because at the end of the day, all Caruana has to do is bring his king to the corner and then just shuffle back and forth, and you get a stalemate at some point. So this is a well-known draw where you have the wrong colored bishop. So if Black had this pawn on the H file, it would win because the queening square would be the same color as the bishop. In this case, the queening square is the on the light square, so there's nothing that Black can do to force the king out, and this is why the players agreed to a draw at this point. So for example, say after e takes f5, I just play some moves for the newbies. He doesn't even have to try to defend that pawn. Let's say he just shuffles back and forth. There's nothing that Black can do if he pushes, and then White is stalemated if Black tries to hold on to the pawn. So for instance, if Black does a move like that or like that, and then if he goes away, of course he just drops the pawn and you can't mate with just the bishop and king. And so this is why this ending is drawn. There's nothing that Black can do to extract the king from the corner over here. So the game would either end in a stalemate or the pawn would just be captured, as you see in that example. And that's why the players decided to draw here. But like I was saying, I think that Caruana is going to have to switch his opening, either play a mainline Sicilian or switch to d4, c4, knight f3, or something like that. And so I'm going to make a prediction as I did in the second game. So I'm predicting that Caruana's next white, which will be, in a few days, that Caruana is going to switch from e4. That he's not going to play e4. He's going to play something else, knight f3, c4, because he's just getting inferior positions. And I guess him and his team haven't worked out anything against Carlsen's Sicilian. I will be very shocked if he played just an open Sicilian against, played d4 in this next white in game 5. So I'm going to predict that Caruana is going to, switch, to d4 or knight f3 or something like that, or c4, and go into that realm against Carlsen. So it's going to be very interesting, and I think that Carlsen is going to stick to his game plan. He's going to play the type of openings that he always plays, where he doesn't really care about the advantage in the opening, so to speak, the theoretical aspect, but he's going to just try to get a position. So you might see Queen's Gambit again, or he might play a Trumpovsky, but he's going to try to get a position. And Caruana has to be careful because to me it's obvious that Carlsen is still a stronger player. Like I said, he's still, to me, a few years ahead of his closest rivals right now. So all Caruana can really expect to do is try to just hold on and hope that Carlsen makes a mistake, and then he can capitalize on that. So that's one strategy. Another strategy is that he can take chances of his own and try to bring the fight more aggressively to Carlsen. But again, I think that would be slightly out of character for Caruana. So that's all I have to say about this game. So far, 3 draws, and hope you enjoy the little bit of commentary. And I'll see you guys on the next video.